Hi there. In this video, we are going to look at three communication theories: gatekeeping, agenda setting, and framing. They may help us understand how the mass media work and how media content is created as it is. The first one is the gatekeeping theory. Lots of things happen around us every day, and it is impossible for us to know everything. What we do is to pick out the things that we need to know or care about. This is where the gatekeeping theory of mass communication comes into play. The media work the same way. They sift through the events and make their own choices according to their own criteria. In other words, the media gatekeeper decides which information will go forward and which will not. What's important for us to realize is that gatekeepers are able to control the public's knowledge of the world by letting some messages pass through the gate, but keeping others out. Through this process, the unwanted or controversial information can be filtered out and won't reach the audience. In the news media, for instance, the editor plays a vital role. He or she has to decide what kind of news items will be published or aired based on a number of factors such as ethics, policies, ideologies, or even the preference of advertisers. In today's we media era, it seems that everyone can be a journalist and publish anything he or she wants to. In other words, the social media have jumped the gates by getting around the gatekeepers of the traditional media. Do we still need gatekeepers? Well, I think we still do, because if we want to stay away from clickbaits and fake news, we still need reliable, intelligent, and relevant sources of information. On the other hand, we as media consumers also shoulder the responsibility of looking for trustworthy sources of information. The next theory is the agenda setting theory. Have you ever watched the news and wondered how some stories make the headlines while others aren't even covered at all? Have you read the newspaper and wondered why some stories appear on the front page and other stories are buried deep in an easily overlooked section? Well, there's a reason for that. In 1972, Maxwell McCombs and Donald Shaw, as a result of their study of the 1968 US presidential election campaign, developed the agenda-setting theory. They observed the messages that the mass media put out about certain voting issues. Then they studied how the people reacted to them. Unsurprisingly, they found that the more the media talked about a particular issue, the more voters thought it was more important. Therefore, McCombs and Shaw proposed that the news plays an integral part in shaping the political process. The amount of time spent on an issue and the information relayed in a news story, along with the story's position, determine how much the public learns and the importance placed on the issue. The agenda-setting theory has two core assumptions. 1. The media and the press filter and shape reality rather than reflect it. 2. When the media focus on just a few issues or subjects, the public tend to perceive those issues or subjects as more important. In short, this theory explains the relationship between how much a story is covered and the extent to which people think that the story is important. In other words, it's the media's creation of what the public think is important. To quote Bernard Cohen, the press may not be successful much of the time in telling people what to think, but it is stunningly successful in telling its readers what to think about. The third theory, the framing theory, is an adaptation of the agenda-setting theory. Both theories talk about how the media draw the public's eye to specific topics. In this way, they set the agenda. But framing takes this a step further and focuses on how the media package and present information to the public. Reporters decide what to include within the view, or frame of a story and what to leave out, much as a painter chooses what to put on the canvas of a painting. They choose the tone, words, and facts to include, highlight certain events, and then places them within a particular context to encourage or discourage certain interpretations. In this way, the media provide a focus, an environment for reporting a story, influencing the mindset or perception of people and impacting their decisions. For example, through initial reporting, the media may present the facts of a story in such a way that the audience is given a particular point of view or frame of reference and interpretation. The media may report that a particular politician has extreme views on an issue, that a policy is harmful to a particular group, that a new medicine is not safe, and so on. In this way, the media have presented a frame through which the story is interpreted by the audience. Framing also sets the baseline for future reporting on the issue. While the media's agenda setting tells us what topics to think about, the framing of issues tells us how to think about these topics. Therefore, the framing theory is also known as the second-level agenda setting. Framing is an unavoidable part of human communication. We all bring our own frames to our communication.